Hello, everyone. Today, let me share something beautiful with you. I had a conversation at the crack of dawn this morning. And let me tell you, it was beautiful. Now, just put that in the back of your mind, because from that crack of dawn conversation, an understanding unfolded before me. You know when Neville Goddard says to you to live in the end? And you know when Neville Goddard tells you to assume the state you want to be in? Now, let me break that down for you in a more bite-sized fashion. Imagine, if you will, the person who's going to make perfume or cologne, because this was the image that popped into my being. When they are creating a fragrance, right? They create the fragrance in their mind. They can smell the hints of bergamot, a rose, a cinnamon, anise. They can smell it in their mind first. And so when they begin to put this fragrance together, they put the fragrance together and they experience it in their mind's eye. They make it real. They feel it real in their mind when they create it. What do you mean by that? It means when they, in their imagination, dab that cologne or perfume behind their ears or on their wrists, they get a particular feeling. They say, ooh, I love the smell of that. Ooh, I love how that made me feel. Oh, yes. They created an entire fragrance in their minds. And they experienced that fragrance in their mind. They saw themselves at the dinner party and someone leaning in and saying, oh my, don't you smell delectable? And then they built it in the lab, got their mortar and pestle out, and they built that fragrance. And then the fragrance comes to market, and you purchase that fragrance. And when you put it on, you say, oh my goodness, this is incredible. This smell is, where has it been my whole life? That is what you say when you experience what they did in their imagination. Now, when Neville Goddard tells you to live in the end and to feel it real and make it take on the tones of reality, this is what he's talking about. As a seamstress, a designer, when you are sketching out in your mind that dress, that suit, well, what happens? You choose the fabric. Why do you choose that fabric? You choose that fabric because when it falls over the skin, as you put that dress on, and it falls over the curve of your hip, and it hugs you. The way it sounds when you walk. Swish, swish. So the designer has already built the dress in their minds and put together the fabric based upon how they feel when they put it on in their minds. Is it off the shoulder? If it is off the shoulder, then you can feel the wind on your shoulder. You can feel the warmth of the sun on your shoulder. You can feel your hair at your neck. Oh, if there's a slit up the side of that dress, you can feel the cool breeze as you step. Oh, dear God. Do you see how now the designer builds that dress? It took on the tones of reality. Oh, yes. So now, when you say to yourself, I want a specific person, we call it an SP. When you are building your ideal person in your mind, how do you want them to feel when they are around you? Do you want them to gaze upon you and smile so beautifully? When they look into your eyes and they caress your cheek, they kiss you on the forehead, they grip your hand, they squeeze your hand as you walk along, dare I say, the beach, the sand between your toes, the cool water as it laps against your ankles as you walk with them. You are building your ideal relationship. And you must build it and feel it and experience it within you first. So now that when you are out in the world and that particular person looks at you and all of a sudden you're like, oh snap, I felt that feeling. There they are. This is what it means to take on the tones of reality. You must build it within you first. For instance, you want a house. Well then, do you want a sunroom? Well, that means you are in the middle of winter, you are sitting in your sunroom and you are feeling the heat of the sun on your skin, even though it is -40 outside. You are cooking and whipping up your latest concoction in the kitchen because you have the space to turn around and you can feel the cool counter beneath your hands, the cool granite or marble counter. Oh, yes. You can walk into your wine cellar and pick up a bottle of Chardonnay, of Rosé. Yes. You can soak in your tub and you can feel the bubbles as they tickle your skin, the warmth of the water. Oh yes, you can hear the music as it gently plays over the speakers in the bath. Yes. Or if you're in the shower, you can feel the water droplets as they pour over your body. Yes, you can smell the fragrance of the rose bath oil as you rub it on your skin to preserve your moisture so you're not ashy. Hello. That's right. You can feel the softness of the carpet beneath your feet as you walk up the stairs. You can sit in your window seat and gaze out upon the night sky. Or you can see the sunrise in your window and hear the birds as they greet the morning sun. That is your ideal house, is it not? You have just built it in your mind's eye. Nowhere in here, in the equation, I can't afford that. I don't know if I qualify for a mortgage. That does not have anything to do with what you want to experience. You build what it is you want to experience in your mind's eye. Because to create is not only a privilege, but to create is a pleasure. But you see, we look upon manifestation as work. Gotta get your vibration. You gotta be in alignment. You gotta be in the vortex. Forget all of that and simply create in your mind's eye the experience you want to have. And because you have created it there and you have felt it and it has moved you, Well then, Neville Goddard tells you, you will be presented with a bridge of incidents. A bridge that will show you every action step you need to walk across it to the fulfillment of your desire. Because the desire is already fulfilled. How do you know it's fulfilled? Because you have already experienced it in your mind. It exists already because you have experienced it already. And because you have experienced it, you have now fully engaged the law of gender. You wanted to experience the relationship. You wanted to experience the new dress, the new fragrance, the new house. And so you did. And you projected masculine energy. You projected those seeds into the womb of possibility and impregnated in the womb of possibility. That's what you did. You impregnated the womb of possibility. And once the womb of possibility has been impregnated, she must bear fruit. She must bring forth the children that you projected into her. So you don't need to believe in manifestation. You simply need to understand that you are a creator. And a creator always takes pleasure in their creations. How do I know? Here's an example. I've given it a myriad of times. A grain of sand, a snowflake, that desert flower that blooms after a rainfall and then it dies. You're like, what? Who sees that? You cannot see the intricate designs of a grain of sand, nor can you see that intricate design of the snowflake with the naked eye. But if you magnify it, you'll see it. So, who is gazing upon that grain of sand and that snowflake? Who? The person who created it. And if they are gazing upon it and taking pleasure in their creation, well then, be imitators of Christ. Oh, that's what that means. Imitate the Creator. Take pleasure in what you create. So if you want to create a beautiful life, then create a beautiful experience in your mind. One cannot create a beautiful experience from, I never get it right. My mother was right, I'm no good. Nobody wants me. I'm ugly. I don't have a great personality. Nobody wants to be around me because I'm still single and it's been 30 years. You see my point? That is also a creation. And it is a creation that you are unhappy with. And this is why Neville Goddard says to you, revise. This is what it means to revise. As my son said, Mom, I feel like a sculptor with clay. Yes. If you do not like the sculpture that you're currently molding and shaping, what do you do with that wet clay? Break it down and build it up again. Revision. Take pleasure in what you create. And when you take pleasure in what you create, you are wholly in activation of the law of vibration. You are vibrating at a high frequency. You're moving with ease and relaxation. You are allowing. You understand? So, if you would gaze upon creation as a privilege and a pleasure of having people experience the beauty and the essence of who and what you are. Because remember, your creation starts off invisible to the naked eye. Oh, and when it is invisible to the naked eye, you get to fully enjoy it. When it becomes visible, now the rest of the world, they get to enjoy it as well. So, do not beat yourself up. Simply create a beautiful experience. If you are the designer, feel the fabric, the cut of the suit, the dress. If you are making the perfume or the cologne, then you smell the hints and tones. If you are building your house, then you feel each room. Experience each room, the couch, the carpet. If you are building your ideal relationship, then you gaze upon the person. You hold the hand of the person. You kiss, caress the person, all within your mind's eye. Because what happens? It begins to make your body feel a particular way. And this is what it means to experience the tones of reality. And I leave you with that today. I trust it made sense. I know it was a little bit long-winded, but you know how it is. I have already created this experience within me already. And you just get to experience it. And with that, much love.